Hi. Hello. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Oh, you trying to sit up? You trying to sit up? What kind of dinosaur is that? Hey guys, happy Wednesday. Hope that you're having a good day. I did want to jump on here and just go ahead and dive right into my second video. I know that I had touched talking about postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety in my intro video. I did want to talk about that because it is something that's so fresh to me. Last night I was very anxious. I had the worst anxiety that I've probably had thus far this time around after having my second child. After I had my son, and this was, 4 years ago, I had postpartum depression and anxiety, like I had said before, pretty severely. I wasn't sleeping. I couldn't really eat. I was by myself. We had just moved to Texas. My husband was in the Army, so we were stationed in Fort Hood. And I didn't have any friends. I didn't have like a support system, and I was so embarrassed. Like I was so ashamed to like say out loud that I was dealing with that. And that's something that we definitely, like as moms, we have to break the stigma of. This is nothing that we can control or is our fault. And I think it takes a lot of courage to really talk about it and just be honest and open and support each other, because this happens. This is a real thing. I wish I would have had that mindset after I had him. I think that it would have been a lot, obviously, easier for me. And, I was a new mom. We were just married, so I was still learning how to be a wife and a mom and dealing with all those emotions. So, that's really why I'm trying to be proactive this time around, and just take steps to kind of put myself out there, just to be honest about it. I feel like if I say it out loud, then I have power over it. And if I can help someone else or someone help me in the meantime, why not? I know last night when I was having the anxiety, I reached out to my big sister, to my best friend. I texted my husband while he was at work, which typically I try not to do because he is at work. There's not a whole lot he can do. I hate stressing him out. And I know it's not like a stress to him, but I don't really like putting that on him while he's at work. But I just felt like I just needed to kind of like just reach out to somebody, and that's okay to do. And, you have people around you that love you, or even if it's someone on the internet, you're on YouTube and in the comments and Instagram and Facebook. That's the beauty of social media. Granted, it can be the opposite sometimes, but that's okay too, at least for me. So I did want to just, kind of bring that up. And, in the moment when the anxiety was pretty bad, I prayed. I am religious. I know everybody's not religious, which is totally fine. That's just something that really helps me. I do have a Jesus Calling book. It's kind of like a daily devotional. So it has like the dates on it. And you would go to like the day. So like today is October 9th. So you would go to October 9th. I do like doing that, but mostly what I'll do is I'll kind of like close my eyes and tell God, like, lead me to what page you want me to read. And, I will just kind of flip to wherever and read that. And I really like doing that because I feel like that's my direct communication with God. Obviously, I have direct communication with him at any time, but it is nice to feel heard. Sometimes it's hard to feel heard when you're talking to God. I won't get too much into that. I know that a lot of people don't share my faith, and that's okay. That's the part of the world that we live in. Not everybody shares that faith. if you have any tips for me, like to kind of help me deal with that or something that you do, I'd love to hear about them. I'm totally down to try whatever. I'm not so confident in myself that I feel like I've found the best way to deal with the anxiety. Clearly, I don't. I just think that being honest about it is just the number one thing. This time around, I've noticed that the depression is not as intense as it was with my son. At the beginning of it, though, I was feeling depressed, a lot of anger and hurt, and I wasn't really sure where it was coming from. And I did have that, after I had my son. I mean, I had it so bad after him. It almost ruined my marriage with my husband. I mean, I was not myself, and I couldn't tell him. One, he didn't understand, and we were young, and we were both going through a lot of changes, and two, I was embarrassed. I mean, I really was. And now, I can lean on my husband and talk to him about anything, and he's my best friend, definitely my biggest supporter, and I'm so grateful for that now. I'm glad that it didn't ruin our marriage, but I mean, it can affect every part of your life if you let it. So I did want to bring that up, and then part of that too, I think the anxiety was kind of stemming from, I had posted my first video. I was self-conscious. I mean, people are judging you from the things that are coming out of your mouth, to the environment that you're in, to what you look like. And that's a lot on a person, it's like, I think everybody deep down no matter how confident or how, I don't care attitude you have, everybody cares at least a little bit sometimes. So, I would like to say that I'm one of those people that have always thought I didn't care that much, but I do. And I think that that's normal and it's fine. But I think that's where my anxiety, some of it was coming from, or had triggered it. I don't really like that word. I feel like everybody gets triggered, but that's the world we live in also. So, but I kind of talked to my husband about it last night, and he's just kind of like, people are going to say stuff, people are going to be in the comments, and just do you. And that's what I'm going to do. If we're going to do this, let's do this. If I can help somebody, or make friends or help myself, or this helps me as an outlet to be a better mom and a better wife, then that's awesome. Or just a better person in general, a better friend, a better daughter. I mean, we all need outlets. So that's just something that I definitely want to share with you guys. Also, another thing, my 4-year-old, he recently, like in the past 6 months, he's really started to stutter. I don't know if we're going to have to do some kind of speech therapy. I'm not sure yet. I'm kind of hoping that he grows out of it, but it's the older he gets, the worse that it's getting. And I mean, it's getting pretty bad. Especially he notices it's happening and he gets super frustrated. So then he starts stuttering more. And it was never a problem before. I don't know if his brain is going faster than what he can really slow down and say. At least that's basically what the pediatrician had told me, in layman's terms. But I want to know, do you guys know anything about that? Are your kids going through that? Have they been? Did you stutter? Do you have any pointers for me as a mom? I usually, just kind of either if it's a little bit of stuttering, I will, I'm stuttering talking about this. I promise it's not hereditary. I normally don't stutter. But anyways, like I was saying, I'll usually say, slow down, think about what you want to say. Let's pause. And he usually can do that, and he can stop himself and recognize what's going on and slow down. Or if it's just, if it's not super bad, I just try to not acknowledge it. I don't know if that's the best thing that I can do. So definitely open to pointers. I don't think I'm world's greatest mom. So I'm still learning this. He's my first kid. 4 years of parenting, that's still pretty new. So, any advice that I can get on that is super helpful. I'm actually right now in my daughter's nursery. That's why I have this little blanket. Actually came from my sister-in-law. It was her blanket when she was a baby. So I thought that was super sweet. So it's my daughter's now. She sent all kinds of blankets over. My mother-in-law did that were my sister-in-law. So That's special for my daughter to have, I think. And they're really pretty too. And like that one, they're like Afghans, super warm. So that'll be nice for her to have as she gets older too. You can never have enough blankets, at least not for me. It is a super nice day here in Ohio, so we're gonna go out. Jeremiah's gonna ride his bike a little bit, maybe get on his four-wheeler. He has like one of those Power Wheel Yamaha four-wheelers, so it's not actually like motorized, it's battery powered. Let the dog run around. We have a 10-month-old German Shepherd named Roxy. She is wild. She's kind of bad, to be honest. I hate that. I don't want to say she's bad, but she is mischievous. She likes to chew on a lot of things. She's very bossy. She took a long time to potty train. We got her when I was pregnant, and I thought, yeah, this would, I could totally handle this. No big deal. But that was probably one of the hardest things I've ever do. It was potty train a puppy while being pregnant, and then more pregnant and more pregnant. Also with a toddler. So that was a lot, but I'm glad we stuck with it. She drives me crazy 95% of the time. My close friends know this. My husband knows this. But I love her, and she's a part of our family, and she always will be. So it is what it is. I'm going to be excited for the puppy phase to be over. So again, if you guys have tips for me for the chewing, let's hear it. Like, she chewed up some of my pumpkins yesterday. She'll chew on shoes. She'll chew on door frames. I mean, she'll like sit there and chew on carpet that has nothing on it. Just like, what are you doing? Like, why are you ruining everything? Oh, she drives me insane. But we'll probably go outside. My daughter Violet is not feeling well whatsoever. She actually had like a little bit of a temperature today, a little bit of one yesterday. I thought it had something to do with the teething because she did start teething early. But no, she's actually sick. So she's napping right now. She's still eating. So that's good. And she was smiling after she ate today. I did give her some Tylenol, so that helped too. It's always scary when they're sick, when they're this little, because they can't tell you like what they need or what hurts, or so it's really hard to kind of like trial and error, kind of figure out what makes her comfortable. So I'm hoping that she's feeling better by this evening or in the morning. If not, we'll probably make a trip to urgent care just to be on the safe side. I'd much rather be safe than sorry, especially at 3 months old. That's absolutely terrifying to me. So, but yeah, so we're going to head outside and try to enjoy the rest of the day. Thanks for listening. And like I said, if you have any advice for the anxiety or how you deal with it, or just if you're dealing with something similar, I'd love to hear about it. So yeah, have a great day, guys. Thanks. Wow, look at you.